let's just sit for a moment, just a moment. I'd like for you guys to get into a comfortable seat, whatever that looks like. For me, it's cross-legged. For you, you could be kneeling, etc. It's good to see you guys. Thank you so much for being here. And let's watch the breath just for a little bit as we tilt the chin down ever so slightly. Allow the eyes to close. And just observe the breath. We're not going to be seated too long. I want you to observe the breath. Nothing controlled or forced, you guys. We'll do that in a bit. Just notice what sensations you're feeling. As you drink the breath in, feel the ribs expand and the lungs, they expand too. Just a very quiet rhythm of breath, natural rhythm. And consider the word yoga for a moment. Yoga. We say it all the time. I wonder how often we think of the true meaning. In Sanskrit, the word itself means to yoke, to come together. And on this mat today, we're going to bring together body, mind, breath, heart, spirit. Body, mind, breath, heart, spirit, as one, aligned. And we take our focus on the breath, so much concentration. And it's quite a curious phenomenon that the interlude between the thoughts gets longer and longer. Talk about the breath a lot. You guys know that. I'm very passionate about the breath and passionate about teaching the importance of the simple act of watching the breath. And breathe in and breathe out. It's a delicious repetition of an inhale and an exhale. Observe what's already happened. Perhaps there's a shift. One into doing, and just settling in. And a sense of arrival on your mat, which is such a sanctuary, such a sweet spot in your home for complete relaxation. All I'm asking you to do is to watch the breath and notice if you're feeling a little bit more relaxed. And the body, mind are in concert together. And it's such an amazing tool. Grateful for the breath and grateful for this. So we're going to keep breathing, but I want you guys to lie on the earth now. And if you do have a blanket, and I'm trusting that you guys do, just roll this blanket like a nice, big, fat burrito, and then place it on your mat so that you can lie back and have the blanket meet the shoulder blades, right underneath the shoulder blades. Sometimes we use blocks here. If you need a second blanket behind your head, that's good too. And so you're just going to exhale and come down and let that blanket be right behind the thoracic spine, and set your head back down on the mat and widen your arms way out to the sides. Let your elbows rest. And today let's open our feet a little wider. And you're settling in. Beautiful. And welcoming yourself to this moment. Breathe in, feel the expansion expansion of the heart. And you might have a considerable back bend here. Extension of the spine, so important for these lungs of ours and for the heart. And keep the breath flowing nice and smooth, where you're beginning to drink the breath in a very aware fashion, a little deeper, a very delicious inhalation. And noticing the sensations of being full, not stuffed, just full. And there's a little gap, a little pause there at the top of the breath, just linger. And then exhale, let the breath glide out, so slow. Beautiful. And there's another gap, a little pause down at the bottom of that exhalation, just notice that. And then invite the breath in again. And I actually love the word and the thought, invite the breath in, so that we're not taking it for granted. We're very aware of what this breath can do to the nervous system. So again, you're watching, and now I want you to see if you can deepen the breath just slightly. Become more aware of the breath. So the filling is that lifted, buoying sense, right? And then the exhalation is what's going to stimulate the parasympathetic nervous system. That's your rest and digest. And it takes practice. And this breath will get you out of the sympathetic response of fight or flight. We get activated when we worry, when we consider the what ifs, or maybe even if we have the news on too much, we're getting ourselves activated. And just as easily we can turn off the thoughts, we can turn off the noise and the news, which is part of the reason we practice yin anyway. So right now we're just allowing the breath to be the cashmere blanket that can envelop us in this ease and grace. Rock your head side to side so that you are giving your skull some awareness. Keep the breath flowing. And just a full body awareness. Just scan what's happening with the toes. You can move your toes around, maybe make little fists with your toes, circle your ankles around, and keep the head just rocking. Turn your toes in like little pigeon toes and then back out like duck feet. And reach up overhead, just like you would in the morning. Palms together overhead. Let your hands rest on the earth. Tuck your chin here. Bend your knees so that the soles of your feet are flat on the mat. And let your knees fall very slowly, very aware, you guys, the very deliberate motion. Knees left, knees right. And just feel what's happening right where that blanket is, in the thoracic spine behind the heart. The tissue's a little tight. So we'll spend some time here. I'm reaching up overhead. My spine's still over the blanket, and the knees are falling side to side. And the breath, something you're concentrating on and guiding the mind back to the breath. The mind will act like a monkey mind, very common. And just guide it back to the breath. Deepening the breath and falling in love with the breath. And knowing the breath is what brings us into the present moment. Again and again. So stretch your legs out and rise up to a comfortable seat. Take your time. Take your time. And set your blanket off to the side, you guys. And you can face me again. I think I'm going to actually sit on a blanket today. I'm going to talk to you about body-mind awareness as we go through this next exercise. So all we're going to do here, we're going to take our left hand out front. We're going to pull back on the baby finger, and we're going to move through the fingers here. And I'll guide you. What I'd like for you to do is just have your arm directly out. Actually, you know what? I changed my mind. Bend your elbow so we won't be out using muscle. I don't know what I was thinking. I wasn't thinking. Bend your elbow here, yeah. And then take your other hand. We're just going to bend this baby finger back. And this is a great opportunity for you to bend and get curious. I want you to investigate this edge right here, just of this baby finger. And now I want you to close your eyes and feel the sensation that you're causing in that baby finger. I know, it's so simple. We're just breathing. And now move to your ring finger and just watch it. How much can you bend that finger back? And close your eyes. Get very curious about sensation and breath and awareness. We're going to move to that middle finger and just bend that back, bend back. So it's your left arm that's out. Your right hand's just pulling the fingers back. Keep the breath flowing. Notice the sensation, the quality of the inhalation, the generous and delicious feeling. And then move slowly to your index finger and pull that finger back and keep the breath flowing. And close your eyes. Today I see deep red behind my eyeballs. Red is the color of the Muladhara chakra, root. Perhaps you see red too, or maybe I can encourage you to see red. Color of the root chakra, grounded in the center. And then we're going to move to the thumb. You guys can just move that thumb back. And it's a very great concept here of edge, because if you push too much, you're going to get into injury. Backed off so much, you're going to be in atrophy, right? Nice. And then I want you to shake your left hand out. Give it a really good shake. And you guys obviously might open your eyes or not. This exercise here is obviously we're playing with the fingers and the tissues and the tendons, but I want this exercise to be more about the awareness. So we're making fists and then spreading your fingers, and just feel the sensation. When you get really uptight, sometimes just switching gears, right, can get you into that mind-body experience, which is yoga. So we're going to just bend the elbow here of your right arm and just be very comfortable so this arm is in alignment. And then, again, I'm going to invite you to tuck your chin slightly, close your eyes, and bend your baby finger back. Breathe in and in and in so that you're not stuffed. It's that just right. Just right. And enjoy that little hammock up there where you can swing in. I'll guide you. There's actually nothing for you to do. Just listen and allow yourself to be guided. We're going to move to that ring finger. Your right ring finger. So simple. The mental meanderings can soften, and you can really just get deeply into sensation and breath, and there's a marriage there, right? Move to your middle finger. If some new person tuned in, this is yin, this is boring. I think it's awesome to be this aware. Let your inhalations fill you up with goodness, with ease, with joy, like Joyce. Beautiful. Exhale. Let the exhalations just sneak away by themselves, slow, and enjoy getting to the bottom of the breath. Excuse me, you're going to move to your index finger now. Just observing the breath. Pull back a little bit more. Notice sensation. Just feel that, right? Inhaling and exhaling. We're going to move now to the thumb. Yeah, I actually turned my hand over. Ooh, tight. And just be, nothing to do. Consider that cashmere blanket is wrapped around your shoulders, enveloping you in this amazing state of awareness and yoga, the true essence of yoga, connecting body, mind, heart, spirit, breath. So simple. Shake out your right hand, you guys. Give it a good shake. Nice. Yeah. Ow. Maybe a little tight, right? Shake it out. Yeah. And then make some fists and then spread your fingers wide. Make your fists, spread your fingers wide. Hi, you guys. So good to see you. Thank you for being here. Today's practice, we're going to kind of play and explore the whole body. So we're going to come into toe squat. Yes, I'm going to do it with you. I'm taking off my socks. And so if you guys have socks on, I bet you do. We're going to come into toe squat as we do when we're in the studio. And this is when I encourage you to reach under and take the baby toe. Make sure that's under too. Now, if this hurts with the hips on the heels, you guys can always take a blanket and set the blanket in between the calves and the thighs. For some people, this is quite comfortable, right? You can stand up on your knees. Your toes are still tucked. And for some of us, we can just lean forward. So you guys know, I think, the modifications, but of course I can show you. And so now we're going to settle into this pose. And we're going to be here probably about 2 minutes, you guys. So let's close our eyes. And today, in particular, I'm going to be guiding you through this breath, this amazing tool that we have available 24/7. When we get activated, when we start worrying, when we start thinking too much, and that monkey mind seems to have us, and we don't have it, then it's just a simple guide back to the breath, over and over and over, and it's done with compassion. So if we begin thinking, and we will, we don't beat ourselves up. We just guide the mind. And relax the body. Notice if you're tensing anywhere. And then maybe just loosen it up a little bit. I know you guys, I can actually envision in my mind's eye all of you guys right in front of me in the studio. Yeah. I think Tracy's here too from Blackhawk. Hello, baby. Yeah. Lots of people here today. Just close your eyes. Yes, I know the toes are starting to squawk and squeak. We're healing these tendons, ligaments, you guys. This is important for the feet. It's important for the hikes and the walking and the everyday actions that we do with our feet. And maybe most importantly, it's important for balance. Spread these toes and get into this toe squat. I know you guys, we're coming up on a little bit of time, and I'm here with you. This is the time I walk around and give you guys massages. Little do you know, I'm just sneaking out of the pose. Hang in there, Stacy, Morgan, Elizabeth, Tracy. Okay, you guys, go ahead and touch down with your hands. And then just turn your feet over. Ouch. I know, very ouchy. And you can just tap the feet. They feel like they're made of glass. Just tap, tap, tap. The fragility goes away, you guys. It goes away actually quite quickly. You can keep tapping and just swish your heels side to side. keep swishing a little bit, and you can tuck again. Yeah, and then you guys know you guys practice with me, you know exactly where I'm going. Yes, tuck your toes again. I know, I can't see your faces, but I can imagine. We're gonna come right back into toe squat, just 15 seconds, and I do this for a reason. So close your eyes, you guys, it's just 14 seconds now. Five, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, let's come out. Tappity tap some more. Now, of course, I just assume that what I'm feeling is what you guys are feeling. I don't know if that's true at all. It doesn't hurt so much the second time. So just swipe the heels. Swipe your heels.
Yes, it does.
It does hurt. Greg, are you doing it with us?
Why I in this pose so long?
Oh my God, I love that. Now they can hear you too, right? That's awesome.
Hey.
I think we got Greg to do yin. Oh my God, miracles never cease. So from here, you guys, we're gonna squat, just kneel squat. So this is ankle, right? So I'm gonna turn my back. So we're just sitting on our heels, just a basic kneeling, right? And then we're feeling this all through the top of the foot. This reminds me like of a ballet dancer. I can only imagine these tendons and ligaments, right? And so you're settling in here, but if you're in the studio with me, sometimes you can use your cookbook or even a blanket, or you can set a block underneath if you want more. So for me, you guys know, a little flexible, so I want a little more sensation, but we don't all want that. So find the ankle squat that suits you. Let your body be nice and firm. Tall is what I mean, not firm. Actually, not that at all. Sorry, guys. And just sit up tall, and then notice my hands are in my lap. My palms are face up, and I'm going to tuck my chin slightly, and I'm going to allow this pose, this ankle squat, to simply be as it is. I'm not going to push, not going to shove, I'm not going to go deeper unless my body calls for that. And I'm going to really deeply practice this mind-body sensation. And go deep inside myself. I'm falling in love with my breath. And letting this sense of ease and grace just wash over you. And when the mind wanders, guide the mind right back to the breath. If you were training a puppy to walk on a leash, you know the puppy would get all like a little monkey wandering off. And you would be so gentle with the puppy. And I want you to be gentle with your mind and yourself. And tune into sensation. What are you feeling? And what are you feeling mentally? Hopefully nothing. Emotions, they're definitely going to come up when you slow things down and take your foot off the gas. How do you feel physically? And energetically, right? This masculine energy of go, go, go and constant doing, lists. Perhaps you've explored a little more feminine energy as you've slowed down, hanging out in your pajamas. Just resting, perhaps. It's a wonderful sense of equanimity, balance. And I think that's enough. I just intuitively, I'm not even looking at the clock, I went so deep into my own pose. We're going to come out of this ankle stretch, you guys. So set your cookbook aside or block. Just roll off onto one hip, nice and slow. Nice and slow. We come into the poses slow, we come out. Get your legs out in front of you, you guys. I think you can see my feet here, right? Just flex and point, and flex and point, and then just 10 and 2, 10 and 2, 10 and 2. Yeah, and circle your ankles around and sit up tall and Circle your ankles around, very aware. I am circling out. I am circling in. Feel these tissues relax. So today's practice, I think I mentioned all over body, fingers, toes, ankles. We're going to sort of move up the body. So I'm going to guide you into shoelace pose. Some of you can come into shoelace pose, boom, just like this, right? But many of you would prefer to get on your hands and knees, have a block nearby or your blanket. We're going to have our right knee. So I'm going to take my right knee and just sneak it in behind my left knee. And hopefully you guys can see. I'll move my hands aside. Open your feet here. Your feet are those little flipper feet. And then you're going to try to sit back, right? You're going to try to sit right onto both sits bones. I usually have to adjust myself here a little bit. And this is the time where you can set a block underneath your sits bones if you'd like. And if anybody's here, you've got some knee issues and your knees aren't stacked like this, perfectly fine. If you notice, even now that you're efforting into the pose, I'm going to suggest that you just come out into a simple cross-legged pose. This pose is for the IT bands, the side of the hips. You're going to get a good edge here. And for those of you that are in shoelace, get yourself situated. Now, been here a little while, and I want you to tune in and really tap in. Okay, what's going on? And let your whole body, you guys, just relax here. We don't need muscle for the yin practice. The IT bands are the second most highly ligamented place in the whole body behind the lumbar spine. And then a few of you that want to go deeper, you can set a block here and perhaps rest your forehead down. And then if you notice, I'm just resting on my forearms and my palms are face up. And then notice perhaps what happened to the mind if it's meandering and wandering off. Or perhaps it didn't and you're breathing deeply, really deeply. And begin to notice the pauses now, the little gap at the top of the inhalation. And as you exhale, if you're tuned in, tapped in, as you exhale with awareness, you're going to feel your bones soften. You actually can feel the pose deepen. You got to be really tuned in, tapped into your physical body and sensation. And then the next exhalation. At the end, I want you to be in that space. It's vast and it's empty. It's also very aware, and get curious about that pause. This is a reflection, a deep, deep, reflective yin yoga, an opportunity to really investigate so much, physically, mentally, spiritually even. Hang in there, you guys. You're doing great. We're going to be in this pose, shoelace pose, for about one more final minute. Gently guide that mind back, just like a puppy, back to the breath. You guys are doing great. Inhale as you begin to rise up. Use your breath. Use it as the tool that it is. Reach up, reach up. Spread your wings so deliberately. Inhaling here. And then exhale, just a slow exhale. Set your hands behind you. Lean back just enough to uncross, yes. And then set your feet about mat width apart. Windshield wiper your knees, you guys. And don't sit back on your bottle of essential oil. That would be uncomfortable. Good, you guys. So windshield wiper, you can linger off to the side. Yeah, just give yourself a little gluteus medius massage there on the side. Yeah. And so we hold poses for a long time and then we move. And then we hold poses for a long time and then we move. And that's the essence of yin. One of the main ingredients is stillness in the pose, so that we can heal the joints from the inside out and finding the sweet spot. And so let me guide you. I love to be guided at a time like this. I just want someone else to tell me what to do. Come onto your hands and knees. Take your left knee and slide it right in behind your right knee. So you're trying to get your knees stacked even here, and then open your feet. This reminds me of a pinball game, little flippers. And then gently, gently offer both sits bones down onto your mat. You might have to adjust a little bit. I have to adjust a lot today. Yeah, wiggle it out a little. Yeah, shoelace pose because your shoelaces are face down, right? Big breath in here, huge breath in, joyous, delicious, yummy. And then let the breath out. And as you exhale, just notice how your body can soften and soften, and don't rush into the pose. Allow. Again, if you're still efforting here, this pose can be switched up and modified to just a simple, easy cross-legged pose. You're still going to get a nice stretch and stress of the IT bends. So I'm going to come back into shoelace for myself and just find the edge. Beautiful. And again, your spine can be nice and tall. And many of you want to tilt the torso forward, feel free, and just seek out where your edge is. For me, I use a block underneath my forehead here. It just helps me to soften into the pose. So go ahead and relax. I've got my eye on the clock. And notice this sensation of feeling quite grounded, centered. Relax your eyeballs here in their sockets. So stay in the pose. I'm going to rise up just so you guys can hear me, and I'm going to talk a little bit about Ujjayi breath. A lot of students don't fully understand Ujjayi. It took me a long time to really get it, and I think some teachers just assume that we know. The breath is Ujjayi. It's called victorious breath. The breath takes place way down in the throat. It doesn't take place through the nose. When you sniff in through the nose, it's a chest breath, and it's short. It's really short. And when you switch and open the back of the throat, you can lengthen the breath 5, 6, 7, 10 times, and the sound on the inhalation sounds like you're sighing the breath in. That's taking place way in the back of my throat, and the exhalation sounds as though you're fogging the glass. And it doesn't happen with anywhere near that much force. It's very soft. If you're first learning the Ujjayi or still practicing and really trying to nail it, you can do the sighing and the fogging with your mouth open at some point you're going to want to seal the lips. It sounds like a scuba diver. Some people say it sounds like Darth Vader. It doesn't have to have a big sound as you practice and really expand this breath awareness. It's almost silent. It's a definite practice. Beautiful, you guys. And I want you to use that inhalation to rise up. And rise up, torso up, arms up. Inhale. This whole time you're inhaling. Exhale, set your arms nice and slow. You're exhaling, set them behind you, lean back, and then you'll uncross those legs. And you might feel a little fragile here, you guys. And then again, just windshield wiper your knees. Yeah. And don't worry. I feel fragile a little bit too, but I'm always amazed at how quickly the fragility gets replaced with newfound freedom of movement and pliability in the joints, right? How do we stay so mobile? How do we stay flexible? Through practice, It's never perfect. Beautiful. So we're gonna move a little bit more here, you guys. Join me on your hands and knees for some cat-cows. And I'll turn sideways this time. So I want your knees to be hip-width apart. Tuck your toes today. We want a lot of energy in those feet. And then pull your wrists in so they're underneath your shoulders. Now spread your finger bones wide here so you really feel the pose. Feel grounded, like you're pushing down into the mat. Let's start exhaling and tuck your chin. Tuck your chin, tuck your forehead, round your back. You're exhaling. And then inhale. Nice and slow. Lift the chin and tailbone simultaneously. Keep lifting, keep inhaling. Exhale, round. Inhale, extend. Exhale, aware, delicious, easy, gentle exhalation, round the back. Enjoy sensation. Fall in love with the breath. Inhale into the cow. Exhale. So by now, your eyes are closed. I'm sure there's not one of you looking at the screen. There's no reason. This pose obviously articulates the spine, but to me it's so much more about awareness and deliberate motion with breath so that you're synchronizing the two. Enjoy and linger here, just savoring the simple cat-cow articulation of the spine. And now I want you guys to practice the barrel rolls. Most of you guys know this. If you don't, we're in like a barrel, right? Just like a wine barrel. And I'm gonna back up a little, want to stay in the screen. So your elbows are bent way down here, and you notice my spine, my tailbone's up, so I'm in the cow, so to speak, and then I'm coming up and around and transforming my back from this cow up into the cat. So it's almost like I'm scraping the barrel. I'm pretending I'm in the wine barrel. And my elbows are bent way down here. And I must say, when you guys are doing this in the studio, is when I stop doing it myself and I look at you and I see everyone's eyes closed. And it honestly, to me, looks like you guys are thoroughly enjoying this freedom. And this is when I say pretend there's a little tip of a crayon and it melted to your nose. Get playful here. And then what happens if you did take your nose and just make some figure eights on the earth and bend your elbows? And it's like you're a big tiger or a lion. We could be lions today. We could take the courage of a lion and just moving and enjoy this simple articulation of the spine. Greg, are you still doing this with me? I hope so. Uh-oh. He's eating a a sandwich or something. Great, you guys. So I mentioned that we're gonna kind of do all sorts of things today. So we did fingers, we did ankles, and we did toes, and cat-cow loosened up our spine a little bit. I want you guys to meet me on your belly into Sphinx pose. Elbows bent right underneath your shoulders. You're not pulling your elbows back literally, you're just sort of driving them down, right? And you're finding the back bend that works for you. You're not hunched here in your shoulders, you're not looking up. It's a level chin, and it's a little back bend here. And just relax your legs, relax your hips here. And if this is too much today, if your back feels tight, widen your elbows, rest your forehead on the back of your hands. Quite a few of you do this, actually. And so that works. If you're in Sphinx here with me, let your belly button, let that center just melt and marinate into the mat. And feel the quality of your next inhalation. There's that sense of being buoyed, light and lifted, and then exhale. Sink down and feel that solar plexus chakra right at the navel center. Just get this wonderful massage. Relax the muscles of the glutes and the legs, abs. Relax your shoulders here. And just allow the Sphinx pose to be. Mind and body in concert. Spread your finger bones crazy wide just for a second. Relax your hands. Did you feel that energy? So much energy in your palms, your fingertips, and relax, relax. We're not pushing, just allowing. And time is the magic ingredient in the yin practice. And if you'd like to go deeper, we're gonna investigate seal pose. I want you to investigate with me slow. I'm gonna do it too, okay? I'm gonna take my hands out, mat width apart, and turn my fingers out slightly. And then I'm gonna straighten my arms, but really slow. The reason I'm going so slow is I'm investigating. Yeah, and so far I feel good, and maybe you do too. If you notice, my hands are way out in front of me. So I'm gonna slide my hands in about one full handprint. And I'm going to offer up more seal, more back bend. And this actually feels pretty good too. And I really don't feel like going further. I could. It's okay, but I feel like I'm riding the edge. So I'm just going to slide my hands forward a little bit. Now I really do look like a seal. Now do you have to come up into seal? Absolutely not. Of course not. If you're here, I want you to in particular relax your pubic bone. Down into the mat, relax your glutes. Invite the breath in like it was a sacred guest of prana, of life force. Allow the back to be in this extension, opening the front of the spine. Keep the breath flowing. I am breathing in. I am breathing out. Thich Nhat Hanh, famous Buddhist monk and author. Simple words. I am breathing in. Bend your elbows with an exhale so that you're coming out real slow, you guys. Real slow. Exhaling here. Spread your elbows. Rest your forehead on the back of your mat, on the back of your hands. Bend your knees so your feet are up towards the ceiling, and then just let your feet fall side to side in windshield wiper, and you'll feel a nice release in the low back. And then I'm going to guide you into child's pose very simply. So come on up, push up into your mat, bend your knees. Use a blanket underneath the knees, a lot of us do. And you can come into child's pose, you guys, with your knees together. Or you can widen your knees about mat width apart, big toes together. And then there's this nice space on your mat that you can just wander down. And again, don't rush into the pose, just relax into the pose. Relax and allow the tissues to soften. You're rounding the back body. This pose is so important after Sphinx, to just round the back in a counter pose. And tuck your chin. Probably 95% of you will have your forehead down on the mat. Nose resting, third eye resting. One or two of you might be able to rest your chin so that you're looking out. Be careful. And let your chest melt into the mat, and spread your finger bones wide for a moment. Tent your fingers. Notice how you can drop down through the armpits slightly and just shuffle, and now settle into stillness. Go ahead and stay in your child's pose. Stay in your child's pose. I lift it up, and I doubt any of you are looking at the screen. Lift it up so that you guys can hear me. If I'm face down on the mat, it might be difficult. This pose, child's pose, is safe and secure. Child's pose is used as a prayer in so many cultures around the world. I want you guys to get comfortable here and offer up a prayer for yourself. Whatever that prayer is, you know what it is. A prayer for your family, a prayer for your loved ones, your friends, a prayer for your community, and a national and international prayer for the globe itself, everyone in it. Everyone working hard, collective, conscious of concern, knowing somewhere deep within, this too shall pass. We'll come out stronger. And just softening. Envisioning a string of pearls here, you guys. Just a little longer in child's pose. If you're envisioning the string of pearls, envision the string. That is the rubber band-like fibers holding your bones together. Ligaments. Beautiful, you guys. So from your child's pose, very slowly, I want you to slither right out onto your belly. Nice and slow. And we're going to do a simple neck stretch here, you guys. Simple neck stretch. So you can tuck your arms into your sides, or your arms can also be up in cactus arms. You guys are going to rest on your left ear, left cheek, looking off to the right. And if you feel any electrical zap here, I want you guys to come out of the pose. It means you've hit a nerve. If there's a little bite, a little pinch, no problem. I want you just to breathe into that. And get comfortable on the mat and scan your body. Make sure you're not clenching through the jaw, not squeezing the eyes or the face. Soften your fingertips and your toes. Maybe just rock your body. It's like if you were in a cradle and your mama came and rocked you a few times, and then just settle in. And just let this neck stretch be. Keep the breath flowing nice and smooth, slow, very steady, very centered, grounded feeling, just lying on your mat, your sanctuary. You're going to come out of this pose nice and slow. I want you guys to turn your head just enough to look right down at your mat. And your nose will be squished a little bit. I want you to start a slight rock on the forehead. Yeah. And then as you'd like, get your elbows out in front of you, you guys. And then you're lifting just enough to bring the sternum off the mat. Tuck your chin here. A little mini forward fold, right? 7 vertebrae all open. And then I'm going to guide you to inhale here, chin level, inhale, and look up. Open your throat. This is an extension of the neck, extension of the spine. Nobody likes this, so hang on. Just breathe and allow the throat to open. I know my voice sounds strained, but I'm not straining. And then chin level. And then go ahead and look over your left shoulder. Just a little. It's a nice little twist for the 7 vertebrae in the neck. If you want to look a little further, maybe you can see your feet behind you. Maybe not. Just don't push. Don't push. And then slowly use your breath. Inhale right here in this twist. Inhale. And then use your exhalation to very deliberately, slow, you guys, look over your left shoulder. And just allow this twist in the neck to be easy does it. And then come back to center. I want you guys to circle your head around. It doesn't have to be full rotations. You can just do half circles. To me, it's like I'm drawing a smiley face with my chin. And sometimes that's just enough. Investigate these uninvestigated tissues in your neck. Yeah. Open your mouth. Move your jaw around, maybe even yawn here. Connective tissue, jaw, connected to the throat, connected to the neck. Keep circling and releasing tension. The neck is like a magnet. Overwhelm, worry, anxiety. just attaches to the neck and the upper back. And so I would never want to rush the neck circles. This can be liquid, sensuous, eyes closed, aware, and just feeling and offering up more mobility in the neck. We're going to come and switch sides. So for me, I like my arms tucked into my sides. It's more comfortable. But your arms can be in cactus arms. You're resting on your right ear, right cheek looking off to the left. Or you can tuck your arms into your side. Once again, just relax through the shoulders. Maybe rock the body side to side. And then just settle into your stillness. What are the nuances of the breath that you're exploring? Is it the inhalations? Maybe today you're just falling in love with the exhalations only. Remember the pause, the gaps, where the inhalation makes its U-turn. Maybe you pause there and then allow the exhalation to sneak out slowly. You're void of breath before just pulling in the next inhalation. Pause down there. It's like a cradle if you would allow yourself the stillness. Go ahead and stay in the next stretch. Go ahead and stay in the next stretch. If you're looking at the screen, I'm just moving around trying to get my thoughts. Guide you to turn your head, forehead down, and start this slow rock side to side. Beautiful. And don't worry, you guys, you're going to feel fragile. That's part of the yin experience. Come on up to your shoulders. Elbows. And then I'm not going to guide you guys because you don't need me. You know if it's going to be good to look over a shoulder or drop an ear to the shoulder. There are 6 degrees of motion in the spine, the flexion looking down, the extension looking up, the twist looking over one shoulder and then the other. And then don't forget the lateral flexion where your ear seeks the shoulder. We're going to take a little bit more than a minute here. Yoga teacher's just a guide. When you close your eyes and go into that third eye associates with intuition, then you know where should you linger. part of your neck needs attention. Should you circle your head fully, faster, slower, you know. This is an opportunity to get very curious. It's an opportunity to explore the true essence of yoga, body, mind, heart, spirit, breath, all mixed together in a perfect recipe of yoga. It's amazing. It's an amazing, amazing art and science, thousands of years old. It takes your mind off your mind, allows you to be fully present to the present. It's an amazing state of awareness and ease. And it's a state of being. It's not a state of doing. Presence. Simple presence. So from here, you guys, I think I'm going to stay on. No, I'm going to bend my knees so I don't put my feet in the fire. I think I'm still on the screen. We're going to come into twisted branches, you guys. And I have to back up a little bit. I'm running into my journal. So let me just be real here. I just don't want to burn my feet. Twisted branches. It's when we cross our arms. So I want you to take your left arm and reach way over to the right side of your mat. Take your right arm, you guys. You're trying to make the X at the shoulders, okay? And your palms are down. Yeah, your palms are down. And you're on your belly. And you find a place to tuck in your chin. Yeah, I think I'm going to turn sideways on my mat. Left arm is reaching across, and your right arm makes the X. Yeah, palms down, fingertips walk as far away as you can to find your edge. Twisted branches. Snuggle your chin in, you guys, and just melt and wait for it. Relax your gluteus and your legs. And take a big breath in and tune in, tap in. As you exhale, feel the shoulders release. Allow your body to marinate into the mat, just softening. Nice internal rotation of the shoulders, the deltoids. So much muscle there. The muscles are soft so that all these ligaments and connective tissue, fascia, can hydrate and heal, you guys. Shoulders, we're so stuck. Culturally, we're stuck in the shoulders. I'm not sure why. I think perhaps overdoing. And we're going to come out already. We don't have time to hold this 3 minutes, but that's okay. So just come out of the pose, stretch up with your arms so that you're reaching up. Yeah, and just move side to side. To me, the way I describe it is like you're trying to crawl out of a hole. And just wiggle and loosen up a little bit. We're going to come right into the other side. So you're taking your right arm over and reaching way over to the left side of your mat. You're taking your left arm over top and you're trying to make that cross at the shoulders, which means your palms are down and you're walking your fingertips apart. Some of us are only going to have this cross at the elbows, and that's fine too. I want you to submit down, surrender the chin. Get comfortable here. Some of you can clasp your hands up behind your neck here. We're going to be here for about 1 full minute. And I want you to remember to use your breath. That is the tool. That is your gift of relaxing into the pose. If you're tight, you're holding your breath, clenching, you're not going to get the benefit of the yin. You're not going to get the benefit at all. So it's using the inhalations to buoy, to lighten. And more importantly, watching the exhalations. It's the part of the breath that gets you into your parasympathetic nervous system of rest, release, relax, reset, rebalance. Soften through the shoulder joints. We're going to be here about 10 more seconds. You guys are doing great. Use your breath, melting more and more into the pose. And get curious about these shoulder joints. Beautiful. And then slowly, slowly uncross, you guys. Stretch your arms way out in front of you. Just relax for a minute. Feel what's happening with the underarms and the shoulders. Rotate your hands in so that you're rolling over the thumbs. You're rotating your hands inward, inward. Yeah. And then roll onto your palms and then roll outward, outward. So you're rolling over your baby fingers, externally rotating. Rotate in again, palms down, and then come in over the thumbs. Yeah. Ouch. A little bit. And then you guys make a fist up over your buttocks and clasp your hands all the way to the webbing. And some of you can raise your arms up, explore your edge. I have my forehead on the mat here, so I'm just allowing my arms to move a little bit. And then I'm just moving side to side, kind of rocking my forehead again. And then a really good release, you guys push up nice and slow. Get your hands up on the mat. Bend your elbows into your knees and just offer up the tiniest little child's pose. Get your arms way out in front of you. Yeah. And just surrender here. Melt down. Stretch your arms way out in front of you. Spread your finger bones wide here. Relax the shoulders. Inhale. Nice, nice. Exhale. Deeply. Steady exhalation. Beautiful, you guys. And the next pose we're going to do is the most important pose of all, you guys. It is Shavasana. And I'm going to do Shavasana with you. And of course, I always have a blanket. Even though I'm in front of the fireplace, I'm still a little chilly. That's just me. And I have an eye bag because I definitely like pressure over my eyes. As you guys are getting ready for your Shavasana, I just want to say this is the most important pose of all the time, really. But now, with what's happening in the news and in our world, don't skip Shavasana. It's an opportunity for the blood pressure to drop, for the heart rate to really drop. It cleanses the blood. It cleanses so much in the body. So whatever it is that suits you. Some of you are going to use some essential oils here. Blanket underneath the knees. I'm going to wrap up. I'm going to put my eye bag on, and I'll guide you. I love to be guided. I think this is an amazing time to surrender to someone else. Let them tell you what to do. So thank you. And I'll see you in a little bit, you guys. I think we have about 7 minutes here.
See you.
place one hand on your heart and place your other hand right above the belly button, about an inch above. Connect those two very vital centers in the body. Heart, anahata. Your heart associates with love, receiving, letting the love in, and giving freely, letting the love out. And just notice, just touch your heart and connect to the solar plexus chakra. This is Manipura. This is your solar plexus, right above the belly button. And you might even want to rub your hand and just tune into this center. This is your center of power, empowerment, knowing, certainty, confidence. This center for many of us right now is a little shook. So I want you to lie back and push down heart and confidence. You're confident of your love, and you can find this confidence on your mat. Certainty. Just connect. And then take your time, slowly, gently. Roll off to your left side, which is your yin side, and curl up with me. Curl up on your left side, tender, sweet, fetal position. And to me, when I practice yoga, I never want to come from Shavasana, just sit up fast, never. So I vowed when I was a teacher that I would allow us to curl up on our sides, just be moments, just simple moments of appreciation and awareness and tenderness. Very sweet practice, yin. It's different. It's feminine. And slowly rise. See if today, in the comfort of your home, rise up with your eyes closed and find a comfortable seat. And take your time, get comfortable, eyes closed. We'll wait for all of you. We'll seal the practice together. Beautiful, everyone's seated, nice. Tuck your chin, bow your head to your sadhana, to your practice. Honoring your wisdom, taking a moment to appreciate this wise choice to practice yoga, well-being, and gather your palms together in front of the heart center, honoring your sadhana, your practice. And breathe in nice and slow and smooth. And breathe out. Go placidly amid the noise and the haste, remembering what peace there is in silence. Namaste. Namaste. Thank you, one and all, for practicing with me. Just a couple words. I know you guys are all finding whatever it is that you want to do. I'm journaling. I'm spending so much time in the bathtub. I'm spending time in my pajamas. I'm spending time hugging my husband and looking into his eyes because we usually fly. We're looking at the sunsets. I do have some nervous thoughts sometimes, and my mat it's not moving. It's in front of my fireplace. I find such solace, and I'm sure you guys do too. So lots of rest. Namaste. So much appreciation for you guys practicing with me today.
Let's snap for Carolyn, shall we?